So hello. Yes. So when I came to LA, first I wanted to be a musician. I think I had so much magic that I felt from music, singing my heart out, collaborating with people, jamming. There was a sort of alignment and energy, especially with the jamming sessions. There's so much power that I felt. I was empowered to use my voice and to feel the magic. and and when I stepped foot in the city, I was like, okay, this is an identity of mine that I want to foster, that I want to emerge. And I could even liken it to a branch of a tree that was extending itself in a direction. And like many art form, the amount of attention and framework and passion that we give to that artwork, it grows. But I was doing a lot, and I essentially came to the realization that it was all actually taking more energy away from what I could be. And I slowly had to hone on my conviction. I had to make a certain commitment to myself in terms of who is the person that I want to be and who is the person that I'm becoming as well. I think a lot of the idea of trimming something, positioning something, framing something, a frame, I think has an incredible power to give us a sense of direction so we can grow in a possible way. I think when we think about the future, there are a lot of unknowns. I think that was one of the Secretary of Defense in the U.S. that said it at some point. And I think there is incredible potential in being able to guide our path, but I think we have to trim. I think trimming is very important. And for me, trimming is almost as if it requires a level of attention, a level of focus, a level of presence, but it's almost as if having the blinders. It's like I'm putting the blinders like this, and I'm guiding my energy towards a direction that I know is true to me, because I know I have an incredible amount of potential. We all have a lot of potential. We have potential to excel in so many different ways. And we have gifts that we're given. Some gifts are stronger than others, and other gifts perhaps could resonate towards the shifting of the tides of history and society. And there are also gifts that could give us an ability to excel economically, culturally, in a certain community that you're embedded into. But I think in the end of the day, it's having the insight to see what are the leaves that I have to trim, what are the branches that I have to trim? What are the pathways that I have to close, that I have to turn off, that I have to forego so I could let new things rise? I remember I was seeing a friend on Instagram. He was saying like how he closed his first business and his first business failed. And he was like sort of disappointed because his first business was his baby, and he that was what defined so much of his identity and how he lived his life and how he moved forward. And I think I'm at a crossroads in a similar manner, especially for syllable. For many of you that might not know, like I've run this collaborative world building production house where I brought writers and artists and scientists to imagine these shared worlds. And I think I'm at a point in my life where I need to give more attention to my craft of painting. And I this is what I'm doing. I'm painting every day, and I'm being present with the colors and seeing how that could emerge, especially in the context of the art world, and especially with working with acrylic and canvas and telling stories of my life here in LA. It's a difficult decision. It's an incredible difficult decision because we might be lost. I think it's the same thing too. It's like if a relationship is not healthy and it's not meeting your needs, and you don't necessarily feel that there is a sort of reciprocated vision of what could be, and perhaps this attachment that you have that is from your childhood is more so fueling a vision of what that person could be. but not actually what's happening now. And I think oftentimes the projects that we connect with deeply, the people that we surround ourselves with, the environment that we embed ours, we tend to have a we tend to see the potential and the vision of those things. And I think that's what drives us is the imagination. We imagine that these things could be better. But what does it look like in the physical framework? What does it look like in the physical aspect? I think so much of those decisions, I think we have to take time to see what are the things that we need to trim, because the trimming of the leaves, the trimming of the branches, the trimming of the things that have gone awry are actually the very things that are perhaps, if not done, or holding you back. Um, yeah, I think it's a delicate thing to trim things. I always see this. I always see it as a tree. Just today, like, or even um like the other day, like I saw an old lady. She was trimming a bush of a tree. I think it was an ivy plant, and she was there with her scissors, just trimming and trimming and trimming, and it had an incredible, beautiful shape. She was able to shape it in the way that she wanted to, and I think the trimming gives power to how we want things to grow. I think there is a level of control as well, but I think it's also I think it's beyond control. I think it's almost as a necessity of like, is there a dead root that is rotting in your life? Is there an expressive aspect that is shining too brightly and perhaps not allowing you to see these other parts that require perhaps more attention? For me, the way that I look at it, and I know I've talked about this, is the idea of alignment. It's like we're always continually changing and evolving as people and as human beings, our values, our hearts, our minds, our future, our past, our traumas, all of these ecosystems, our subconscious mind, our emotion, our attachment wounds, all of these, our communities, our identities. These things mature, these things ripen, these things outgrow the very carcass and frameworks and ideas and levers that allowed them to thrive at one point in our lives. And I think there is a need to come to a realization that some things have to be let go. Some things have to be trimmed. Um, and I think this year in 2025 has definitely been a year of trimming, of like, how do I live in more alignment? What are the things that are emerging? And it's not easy. Absolutely not easy. It takes time, it takes slowing down. But I think just like a tree, when you trim things, new things emerge with rapid, evolving, bombastic, energetic flow. And I think that's the beauty of deciding and curating and giving choice and agency to how you want your life to unfold. What are the pathways that you can take as an individual, as a human, to create the level of change that you desire in your life? And sometimes, yeah, that trimming might look differently. It might not be just letting go of something. It might be like taking that thing and properly ritualizing it and saying, this is beyond me now. This is over. This is something that I'm gonna allow to fade away in a proper way so I can move and step into the right framework, into my own power center. And I think we don't often take the time to do that in our lives. We really don't. Challenge you. I think it's important. I want to hear from you. Like, what are the things that you've had to trim, or you are actually trimming right now in your life, or perhaps you feel you can't let go? And I think the trimming is not necessarily letting go. It maybe it's something much more nuanced than that, because it's like you're doing this to be more beautiful, to access to more beauty, more purpose, more vision in your life, more focus. So, how have you done that? How have you sort of softened or even polished your edges and the sort of expressions that catches your attention? Write down in the comment. Let me know, and make sure to subscribe. And we'll have more videos coming up for you. Thank you.